So today we'll start with numerical questions on the unconventional processes. So the unconventional process which we looking at in the previous video was UCM, ultrasonic machining. That was the part of unconventional machining process. So we have looked at the mathematical formulations to get the feed rate, the volume removed, and now we'll look at the a numerical question. So first numerical question is given. We have a workpiece of tungsten carbide. So it is a very hard material. We want to have a square hole of 5 by 5 mm, and the thickness of that hole or the depth of that hole is 4 mm. So this is how the material total material to be removed is given. Then the mean diameter of that abrasive particle is 0.01 mm, that is 10 micrometer. Then the C, the concentration is given in terms of a sentence. So that is 1 part of SiC, silicon carbide, that is the abrasive particle, in 1 part of water. That means the concentration is 50%. The feed force is 3.5 Newton. The vibration, about the vibration, so the amplitude of vibration is 25 micrometer and the frequency of vibration is 25 kilohertz. That's the range in which the ultrasonic frequency lies in. And the fracture hardness of material, that is the hardness value of that workpiece material, that is tungsten carbide, is 6,900 Newton per mm square. So this is megapascals. So 6,900 megapascal is a very high fracture hardness. And work to tool hardness ratio. So we have seen that the lambda value which I have mentioned earlier. So that was defined as the indentation depth h in the work upon workpiece or the job divided by the indentation depth in tool, that was equal to, that can be approximated to be equal to the hardness value of workpiece to hardness value of tool. So that lambda value is given as 5 over here. Now the volume removed, so we are assuming hemispherical crater. So we have assumed that this type of crater is happening, and this is how my grain was coming, and this is hemispherical. So it will have a radius r. That radius will be same as the radius of my abrasive particle, and the d naught, so that will be estimated. This was the formula we have derived. D naught will be 2 square root of d1 hw, and q will be 2 by 3 pi r cube. So r is this diameter divided by 2. So this 2 has taken into that consideration. D1 hw raised to 3 by 2. That the 3 is coming from that power in the r cube, and by 2 is the square root. Z into that, Z is the number of particles and into the frequency. So hw square, we have derived this formula earlier. So I'm just directly using that. For the abrasive particle is given by this 8 Fa upon Z pi Z d1 hw into 1 plus lambda. So almost all the things are given. Z is unknown to us. So Z is the number of particles. So it will be the area available, the total area divided by, so that will be that area which we have to do the machining of, divided by the area of my each particle into the concentration. So this is how I am going to find the value of the number of particles, and the removal is going to be happening layer by layer. So once I remove the top layer of my material from the workpiece, then the second layer will remove that. So this is layer by layer removal, and hence Z will be 5 into 5, that is 25 upon 2 into, so this 2 is coming because of half, that is the concentration 50%, pi by 4 d square, and lambda value is given h phi, that is hardness of work upon hardness of tool. And even if it is not given anywhere in the question, you can assume it to be phi directly. So d1 will be mu d square. So if mu is not given, take it as 1. So these are the assumptions which are given, and even if those are not given, you must understand and use that values as 1, and even the lambda value is not given, you use lambda as phi directly. And d1 is 0. So it is just 0.01 the whole square. So we have all the values. We can find hw. And once we have HW value, we'll have the value of Q. So now, earlier here we had a proportionality sign. Now I have I have taken an approximated sign because I'm assuming all other dependencies or the constants of proportionality as 1 directly. And this is my volume removed. So this is the volume removed removal rate. So the time will be the total volume to be removed. That is 5 into 5 into 4. So this was the area of that square into the depth divided by the volume removed per second. So volume removal rate. So this is the total time, or 14.5 minutes around. Now let's look at another question where we are given with 5 into 5 into 5 tungsten carbide. So this is the dimension of the hole we want to make. The workpiece is still the tungsten carbide. Slurry, for slurry, it is 1 part of 10 micrometer radius boron carbide. So this is B4C abrasive particle. 1 part of boron carbide whose diameter or radius is given. It is mixed with 1.5 part of water. That is what I'll explain. So this is 2 by 2 part. So this is actually one part of B4C and 3 by 2 part of water, and 1 part I have written as 2 by 2 part. So B4C, this is boron carbide. So it should be B4C, not BC. B4C, and then the concentration of my particles will be 2 of 5 parts. So this is 2 of the total 5 parts of the numerator. So the concentration will be that 40% of the abrasive particles. The feed force is given. The vibration specifications are amplitude and frequency, assuming only 20% of pulse are effective. So this is a new incoming thing for you. 20% pulses are effective. That means the effectiveness of that abrasives or the pulse which is coming from the tool, which is going to direct my the abrasive particles on my workpiece, is only 20% effective. So we need to take that into account. So I'll explain that also later as it comes. So I found the number of abrasive particles that are 31,831. D1 will be mu into the D of the particles, the whole square. So that's it. And mu will be approximated as 1 directly. So I have all other values. HW square will be this, or HW value is 5.384 into 10 raised to minus 4 mm. So you see the depth of indentation is very low per that particle imparted. And my Q will be 2 by 3 pi into D1 HW whole raised to 3 by 2 Z into Q. So this is the volume part. Again, assuming that it is having a hemispherical indentation, or the crater is of hemispherical size. So this is the volume removed. So this is the final expression, and this is wrong. So this is not coming into picture. And the time will be the total volume to be removed divided by the effective. So why I have two values is this is the actual theoretical volume removal rate, or the theoretical volume removal rate, but it is given that it is only the pulse are only 20% effective. So what's happening is my actual pulse will have less effectiveness. So this is the effective volume removal rate which is experienced inside my machining process, and the time will be the total volume to be removed divided by the effective volume removal rate, or MRR. That is the effective MRR. That is this, and we are getting it as 62.54 minutes, or approximately 2 minutes more than 1 hour. So you can see that we are taking a lot of time to do a small removal of 125 mm cube of material also. So this is the downfall of unconventional machining process. So we'll stop over here. We have taken look at unconventional machining processes in detail, mathematical formulation, material removal rate, etc. So we'll stop over here. Thank you.